Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Uella and welcome back to my channel. There's something that's been on my mind for a little bit and I wanted to talk to you guys about it because you're my online diary, clearly. Let's talk shmoney. One of the devastating things about self-isolation in the age of Miss Rona has been the exponential rise in domestic abuse cases. At the time of recording this, the UK's National Domestic Abuse Helpline has seen a 25% increase in calls since the lockdown began, and I'm sure that this is not dissimilar to other countries. With government enforced lockdown, people are forced into vulnerable positions with abusive partners and or family members. If you want to find out a little bit more about abuse in relationships, check out my abusive relationships video here, and I'm going to put loads of resources in the description box, so please check them out. Domestic abuse often comes in different forms. You have physical abuse, emotional or psychological abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, but today I really wanted to focus on financial abuse in the age of a pandemic. Come, take a walk with me. So what is financial abuse? Financial abuse is an umbrella term to describe the controlling of someone's ability to acquire, use, maintain money or financial resources. Victims may be prevented from working or have their own money restricted or stolen by an abuser. Financial abuse is a form of control and it often accompanies other forms of domestic abuse such as physical, emotional or sexual. Sinister because it is a really powerful way of keeping people trapped in abusive relationships. Victims can be male, female, non-binary, they can be breadwinners or they can be working or not work at all. And abuse can occur in same-sex, heterosexual and familial relationships. There's no set profile for victims or their abusers, and it's really important to remember that. I know what you're thinking. Cool story, bro, but what does that have to do with Corona? Corona is our context. I don't want to put a downer on the whole positive vibes thing that we have going on our channel, but the economy's gone to shit and it's inevitable that we will face some kind of recession, and it's likely that Corona will completely change our economical landscape, at least for the near future. People have already lost jobs and the government and businesses are using reserves just to keep us afloat. People are in lockdown to buffer our health services capacity and to flatten the curve of the spread. I want you to think about what money is, what it actually means to people. It's not just a currency traded for goods. It's freedom. It's autonomy. For many, it's status. Money is power, right? It's a resource. So when a big proportion of the population's access to money is compromised, think about what happens on a micro scale. What is the knock-on effect in people's everyday lives and in their homes? I'll throw in a couple of ideas. The standard of living drops, mental health issues rise, debt increases, there's less disposable income, increased tensions in family homes, just to name a few. And if you add the context of a global pandemic and mass physical lockdown to the picture, fam, it's mad. A recession is shit for everybody, but in particular, it creates the perfect conditions for isolation, financial dependency, control, abuse. So what are the signs of financial abuse? Identifying financial abuse isn't as easy as someone going, hey, where's all my money gone? It varies from subtle signs to more overt financial manipulation, and it's really good for you to know how to spot both so that you could potentially save a life. Financial abuse might look like someone exploiting your resources. This might be through taking control of money that you may have earned or saved, having access to your bank account, running up debts in your name, borrowing excessive amounts of money, ruining your credit score. Financial abuse might also look like someone interfering with your income, either by encouraging you or forcing you out of work, or interfering with your ability to earn an income, sometimes using children as a way to get people out of work. Financial abuse might also look like someone controlling shared assets or resources. So controlling access to joint bank accounts or savings, hiding or taking funds into a private account, making threats to cut you off financially, punishing you for spending, making you ask permission to your own money. Those are just a few examples, and it in no way is it exclusive, but it's just to give you a flavor of the different ways in which financial abuse operates in relationships. So what can you do? Just kidding. So what can you do? What can we do? What can we do together? I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I am no expert. If this doesn't immediately affect you right now, it's really important for you and all of us to get educated. It's important for us to be able to know how to spot the signs of financial abuse so that maybe we can help ourselves in the future, but also that we can help friends and family if they find themselves in this kind of situation. Being able to secure financial independence is a privilege anyway, but it's going to be even more so in the coming months with the changing economical landscape. It's important for us all to do our bit to become more financially literate, to understand how these things work, and to be extra vigilant. If you do find yourself in a position where you are a victim of financial abuse, just know that there are people out there who can help. Be wary of joint accounts and shared financial products. If your partner asks to borrow money and you don't feel comfortable with it, see that as a sign, especially if you're fearful that they might get angry or aggressive. That's a really big major flag. Try and say no if it feels right to do so, but if it doesn't, don't worry. Just keep a log. Keep a track record of the times when you've lent them money or that they've taken money from you, so that when it comes to the time of having to report it, you can. If you do suspect that your partner is taking out loans or running up debt in your name, a good place to start is to check your credit score for free. But if that is not possible, report it, because it is fraud and they will be able to help you. Slowly but surely, banks and lending providers are starting to become a little bit more aware about financial abuse and the way that it can be really crippling, and the fact that it affects so many people in the country that don't even report it. There are lots of helplines and advice around financial abuse online, so I recommend getting clued up. Don't wait until it's a bit too late to look into it. Now is always a great time. Friends and family, please be vigilant. It makes it difficult because we don't like to talk about money. It feels like a little bit too much of a taboo subject, but try and keep your ears to the ground, and be there to support in any way you can. I popped a few resources in the description box. I'm really sorry that this feels like a really shallow video, that I haven't given enough advice or tips, but I don't know enough about it, and I'm just trying to get myself clued up as we speak. But I thought it was really important to talk about it. I thought it was really important to raise awareness. A lot of people focus on physical forms of domestic abuse, and I think it's time that we started talking more about the other forms of abuse. They're all as bad as each other, and we will not tolerate it. We really have to be compassionate, and we really have to be there for each other. On that note, I will leave you. Take care. Stay safe. I'm Uella. Bye.